I'm working on 2 plays, Sister and The Second Body. Zora brilliantly acted in both. Brilliant actor.
Oh God, what?
Truly.
Thank you. Brilliant writer.
Oh, thank you. So Sister is about a group of aging nuns and their convent as in the months that they prepare to close it. And these nuns, who are all in their 80s, have to be disenfranchised. And it's about the relationship between the Mother Superior, who is much younger than them, and the beekeeper who tends to the hives on the convent. And with the play, I'm sort of interested in women in community and institutions that now in the 21st century are sort of no longer relevant, but in the 20th century was a space for women, or where women really thrived. I'm interested in, the permeability of the world of the convent and of the beehive. And with The Second Body, a play a little less formed at this point, I'm looking at the relationship between a taxidermist and her human model, and the animals that sort of haunt her in this space that she works in. And that's a play that is considering embodiment and the permeability of the body and the realm between the living and the dying.
I'm working on a new play here as well called Good Faith. I have a hard time talking about what it's about because I'm still very much in the discovery phase, but I think it's about power. Mm-hmm. It's about the negotiation of power within the particular landscape of the not-for-profit cultural organization, which we all have experience with, and I certainly have a lot of experience with. And I think along with that, it's about justice, for whom justice is reserved, who justice serves. Somehow it's also about the absurdity of the American criminal justice system. I think that's those are general things that are happening in Good Faith. And it's also about defending yourself as a woman in the workplace.
Very funny.
Oh, yeah, all those things sounded hilarious, right? And it's a comedy.
It's a comedy.
Yeah. My own personal experience, and then also just stories and things that I've witnessed over the years. What has led to my departure from the not-for-profit cultural organization landscape. But then, of course, I'm always immediately tied because I'm a playwright. So still navigating the nuances of power and my vulnerability against that power as an artist, as somebody who has a thing they need and want to protect, which is my art. But yeah, personal experience is definitely the launching place for Good Faith.
Yeah, and for me, with The Second Body, I, for a while, was modeling for a friend who's a sculptor. So she would use plaster bandages to cast different parts of my body, or would cover me in alginate to make these molds, which she would then fill with cement. And I got really obsessed with the intimacy and immediacy of making this art object and being a body, sort of as it is in process of taking another form that is also somehow my body and not my body. And that really led me to this new obsession with taxidermy. And luckily for me, I got to spend some time with a few taxidermists in New York, observing them in their studio. And so the play really came together sort of pretty naturally, thinking about how these things interweave and working with the body. I also work as a birth and abortion doula, so I'm sort of always thinking about the female body as landscape, and how to represent our sort of psychic and physical experiences, particularly when they are so precarious in America, in our world. So that was really a huge inspiration. And with Sister, honestly, I don't remember why I wanted to write that play. but it has grown into really wanting to see and care for aging bodies on stage, especially through this pandemic, really wanting to shine a light on the body, on the fragility of the body, and thinking a lot about death and how we can hold death, we can process loss, and that's really what this play is about. And also my love for bees and beekeeping, and really I just take my hobbies and put them into place.
Because she is also a beekeeper. She's crazy and beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, the community is really special here. Getting to talk to Zora every day about our writing practice and about our respective plays. But really everyone here is so artistically brilliant, and I think there's really an energy of possibility rather than scarcity. So it feels really good to just be in community with all these incredible artists, and to have really, really wonderful meals, and to have these great discussions over meals or wine, and swimming in the swimming pool. You know, it all feels like a kind of haven, and I'm dreading going back to New York.
As am I. Yeah, just to echo what Lyndsey said, it's very inspiring. You know, you hear, how many plays did we hear last week? 10?
Like a lot.
Yeah, a lot of plays that are complete, you know, they've such diversity in terms of like structure and form and content and the questions being asked. But like the standard of writing and what these minds are doing, it kind of, you know, you're itching, even though you're exhausted, but you're itching at the end of the day to go back and like, now work on my play and make you can kind of like makes you level up some. And then just, yeah, like Lyndsey said, the conversation. Also for me, in the gaps between the conversation is the quiet. Both live in New York City, and, you know, Ojai is quiet. And, you know, when we do have time to write, and there's a lot of time built in, it's kind of just, you know, you and that. Shouldn't be a blank screen. I mean, we should have some pages in, but you just, you know, listening to yourself and trying to make a path forward with your work. I really appreciate that quiet, because it is so hard to find that space. No matter where you live, it's always going to be loud with the stuff that you got to do and the obligations you have and the things that you owe people and all that kind of stuff. And these 2 weeks kind of just feel like peaceful time to play.
Yeah. I would also say that there's an investment that each of us have in our plays and each other's plays, and it feels really good to care and to love and to prey on these works that are so incredibly personal to each of us, and feel so sort of active in this space. It feels so great to feel that investment in each other.
That's a word. But not writing is part of writing.
Yeah, not writing is the writing.
Not writing is part of writing.
And that actually, giving ourselves permission for that is really important too.
No guilt, no shame.
No guilt, no shame. Really, it's hearing the plays and having meals together and falling in love with all these playwrights. I feel very full with love for everyone here.
There's something special about, you know, you hear, because we're all in this industry together, so you hear people's names, and you may have had the pleasure of being able to see some of your colleagues' plays, but, you know, meeting in person where it's and we're all here on the same mission, more or less. We're all in some part of the development process. It's kind of like I don't know, it makes everybody a little bit more accessible, you know, and you feel closer to your peers, which is, you know, this industry can really beat you down. So I think it's important to kind of have these experiences to remember and come back to and visit often. Like, okay, yeah, but that person's out there doing it just like me. They're submitting just like me. You know, they're trying to bring their play to the next level just like me. And so then, like Lyndsey was saying, when you do see that production in the world, you are eager to want to go support, because you know how much was put into it. You know how much it wants to be alive.
Yeah, like art is a feeling and an energy, and a connection with something that doesn't always go hand in hand with institutions, or, you know, it's a dance that we have to play, but this is such a great space to remember that art is really about connection and our relationships with the work and with each other, and is not about selling or money or meeting the needs of a producer.
But
But
y'all should really make her plays.
oh, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're
Put
really,
us in a season together.
they're really good. What? 2-for-1 special, baby.
Yeah.
Because the plays are actually really good. You know what I'm saying?
Just give us money, produce us.
All those things. And thank you.
Thank you.
Ojai.
Thank you. Thank you, Ojai. Bring us back.
Yeah.